Hi, Joe Reardon here with the Joe Reardon team at Keller Williams. Welcome to another edition of our vendor series. Today I have Tanner Tregeagle with Wagstaff and Crawford. Try to say that 10 times fast,
Not
right?
easy, yeah.
So, Tanner's a financial planner. A couple things that we really like about Tanner, and we're going to try to outline these things so people can understand, because there's so many different ways that financial planning works nowadays, right? In terms of retirement planning, in terms of how fees are charged, all these different things. There's just a million different ways this works. And so we really want to talk about that today because at least I really like the model that Tanner's using in his company. And I think it's important for people to understand how that works. So the first thing is, Tanner, why don't we talk about financial planning, the way your model works versus other companies, and kind of like highlight what people need to know when they're looking for financial planners in terms of models out there.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. We would be what you'd categorize as an independent financial advisor, meaning that we don't have a specific product that we need to sell, which is great because we can go out there and find all the different financial strategies that are out there and really implement what's best for our client.
Okay, so so you're not tied into one company's funds, is what you're saying, and everything.
No.
Okay, and then also, people there's fees that in investing when obviously you guys are helping people grow their portfolios, but you're getting compensated along the way, right?
Course, yeah.
So and there's many different ways that happens, and what I specifically I've enjoyed when talking to you and how your model, how that works. Can you explain that in terms of the differences between the model for Wagstaff and Crawford versus other companies?
Absolutely. To maybe back up a couple steps, we categorize our clients in really 4 different buckets.
Okay.
Now, sometimes when a client is in one bucket, sometimes they're in all 4 of those buckets. But what I mean by that is we have our comprehensive financial planning clients,
right,
where we charge a flat fee to just do financial planning, meaning putting together a retirement analysis, reviewing taxes, reviewing estate planning, different things like that. Then we have our strictly investment clients, and for those people, we're just managing their portfolio.
Okay.
Then we do handle some insurance services, whether that's life, long-term care, disability insurances, things like that. And then we do retirement plans for companies as well. So those are really the 4 buckets. You were mentioning the strictly portfolio management.
Yeah, so like a strict
portion.
investment clients, I think is what I was looking at in terms of that.
Absolutely. So what we do is primarily on a fee-based system. So for our portfolio management services, we start at 1% of assets under management. So say a client comes to us with a $50,000 account, we're going to charge 1% of that $50,000 as our fee on an annual basis.
Okay, so when you just to kind of dig really a little bit deeper on that, because I think that's the part that I think that is the part to kind of talk about, because so you're saying 1%, so if 50, so that'd be say $500, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's your job to grow that 50,000, and you're going to charge them $500, and then as that grows, obviously you're getting compensated more. Now, but all the trades that happen within there, whatever you're putting them in, are they paying for the trading stuff too, or is that as part of that fee?
So that's a great question, because that's been a huge problem in our industry. Is churning of accounts is the term that they use.
Right. I know that one.
Meaning that I buy and sell something the next day just so I can charge a commission on that buying and selling process. We try to avoid that, and what we do is I pay all the ticket charges. Meaning if I'm going to sell a fund or if I'm going to buy a fund, I'm going to pay that transaction charge as a part of my 1% fee, so that you're not worried about, hey, Tanner's just going out and buying and selling all the time so he can make a lot of money.
Okay, and I think that's the key, right? I mean, I think that's where the big difference in companies and how those things work, and because in that way, I feel like then your interests are really aligned with your clients, right? As opposed to you're not then incentivized to go get some type of fee by selling A, B, or C, and moving that. You're really incentivized by like, hey, we're incentivized, we're going to make more as we make you more.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's been a big, and that's a huge difference, right? Yeah. So that's one of the things that we really like about what you're doing.
And I'll hop in right there. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because our industry's been wrestling with this for years as far as how to really manage the fee process. And when I say it's a double-edged sword is, yes, I'm compensated as your account goes up. Obviously, I get a higher percentage there, so I'm making more money. but also as your account goes down, I'm making less money. So our industry's
Right. Yeah.
our industry's wrestled with that in the past because before it was always as the advisor, I'm not going to make any money until you hit this hurdle rate of maybe 6 or 7%, and then I'm going to get 20% of the profits on top of there. Well, what advisors started to do is they just started to be incredibly risky in their portfolio management, thinking I'm just going to shoot for the stars here,
right?
And then if the account goes down, I wasn't going to make any money anyway. But if it goes up, then I get this big payday at the end. So we want to make sure that our incentives are aligned in both directions.
That's a really good point, right? Because then you see people then obviously taking inordinate amount of risk so that they can then make, and they're like, well, it's not my money. So if I'm, you know, and that's yeah, that's an interesting point.
And I don't mean to drag anyone down because there's certain types of investors that really fit that model. You know, you have high-end institutional investors that will go to hedge funds, and that's really how hedge funds work. Is they go and they say, okay, we're not going to charge anything till over 6 or 7%, but then we're going to take a pretty decent cut over this amount. So,
But you know, hedge funds, that's a different thing, and you have to have at least a net worth of more than $1 million to even like be considered. And so I think for everyday investors, a lot of people we're reaching out to, that's probably not.
No, yeah, we're trying to focus on, you know, our everyday people that are trying to get ready for retirement and are maybe, you know, in that initial stages of they just bought their first house and they need to start on that savings process. We're willing to sit down with them and really get them started.
Fantastic. Well, Tanner, hey, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can do so through my cell phone or my office line. My office line is 595-1100. It's an 801 area code.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Yeah, forget we have to do that now. And then my email is Tanner, TANNER, .Tregeagle. It's not easy. It's TREGEAGLE @LPL.com.
Okay, well, fantastic. Tanner, thanks so much. And then, as always, you can reach out to us, the Joe Reardon team. Reach out directly to me at 801-608-9224. Hey, thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next video.
Well,
Take care.
Yeah.